Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Triangle Strategy. This is episode 10. Things are heating up. Esfrost attacked the mines, killed Dragon, and now they're attacking Whiteholm.
Esfrost invades Glenbrook without warning.
No idea how that works. No idea how a nation fully invades another nation without the first nation having any idea that it's about to happen or any sort of defense. Maybe there was defense. They just were very, poorly organized defenses. IDK. I'm sure we'll find out.
The attack is all the more shocking, coming on the eve of the two nations' grand new mining venture. The Duchy easily rushes into the Crown City, taking advantage of Glenbrook's unprepared defenses.
Why are their defenses unprepared? They've been at war. They...
Caught unawares by the sudden assault, Glenbrook's scattered forces can do nothing to fend off the invaders.
Not convinced that So I'm going to point something out that I noticed early on in the game. I say early on in the game. I'm still early on in the game. But something that I know is going to irk me that I've been kind of like staying silent on. And that is they have been very like all over the place or very loosey-goosey with how far apart everything is, right? How big these kingdoms are, how long it takes to get from one place to another, because there's an implication that these places are big enough to be cities, big enough to be kingdoms, big enough to have lords over different regional areas, right? However, they're traveling back and forth through places in like a single day, right? Like Roland came to meet us in a single day and then left also in a single day and then also came back on like the same day, right? An entire army, right, has marched from one country through another country's countryside into their capital in a single night, which is still possible even in, realistic geography, but less reliable, right? Like it, especially from a medieval standard, marching 50 miles in a day is a lot, right? Like marching 100 miles is like crazy pants. So like, unless the borders between Great Whiteholm or Glenbrook's capital, right? Unless that is 30 miles from the border of Esfrost, it's kind of like, how the fuck did that happen? Anyways, the distance and time within this game seems super duper loosey-goosey, which is a little, not aggravating, but it's a little like, it gets under my skin because that's one of the like details that I'm really into. That's actually one of the reasons why I really loved Genealogy of the Holy War, is because everything felt very particular there, with all the maps being scaled towards each other and kind of like fitting into the world map and everything like that. But anyways, enough of that tangent. They invading.
Serenoa
We
and his
defended.
retinue rush from the mines to King Regna's aid, slipping past the siege into Whiteholm Castle via the secret passage, known only to Prince Roland.
Okay. Sure. Fair enough. I mean, surely if Roland knows about it, other members of the royal family know about it?
Hold strong! Don't let them get to the castle!
Okay, so there's a defense.
Aye, sir.
It's a shit defense, apparently.
That armor. The Black Irons.
Oh, are these the Black... Right, we've heard about the Black Irons being so elite.
Esfrost! Esfrost is attacking!
Yes. How did
What?
Glenbrook
Why does the
fight
Duchy
off
march against us?
Frost and Hyazant for the whole war prior to all of this?
This is a flagrant breach of the treaty. Levy a complaint against Archduke Gustadolf immediately.
Oh, Franny. Oh boy, you are out of your depth on this one. Levy a complaint? They're killing your soldiers in the streets of your capital, my dude. I don't think they give a shit about the complaints anymore.
I fear we're past the time for formal complaints, Your Highness.
Thank you, random Glenbrook soldier.
We can hold them no longer. We must inform His Majesty at once.
Of course. My father and Cordelia must be protected at all costs.
The other scenario that I'm immediately having trouble believing, right? Like, it's you know, it can be a thing for like one country, Esfrost, right, to be the military superiority or the militarily superior nation, right? Better training, and it can be, you know, realistic to have like, oh, there was a 30-year period of peace, right? So the might of Whiteholm has fallen into decadence, right? There's fewer enlisted men. They're, you know, they're less trained. They're more poorly equipped because of corruption, etc., etc. All valid, right? What's not necessarily valid is the concept of Whiteholm's a big-ass castle in the middle of a fucking lake. It's naturally defensive terrain. Even if their military is shit compared to Esfrost's, they should be able to just pull back and hold the castle in a siege for a long time. Like, historically, city-states and other locations did that for months, if not years. Like, ay, ay, ay. Sorry, I need to just let the game unfold. Ooh. They did not lose a single person, it looks like, to the group down below. Poor tactics, my friends.
Esfrost invaded the Crown City by night! Preposterous!
You can give yourself a heart attack, Dad. Calm it down. I'm on this. You just chill.
Gustadolf, what is that bastard scheming?
I got it.
Lord Simon, I bring word from King Regna. He says, should the crown fall, Glenbrook is in your hands.
Uh-oh.
Your Majesty. Fetch my armor! I march to the Crown's aid!
Father, you are retired.
Please, my lord, at least wait for Lord Sereno and his retinue to return.
Out of my way! I pledge my loyalty to His Majesty, and it's a vow I intend to...
His heart explodes in his chest. Yep.
Your heart, my lord!
Okay. This voice acting has some less than parts.
Summon a healer, quickly!
Your heart, my lord! Happens to be one of them.
Death cannot take me yet. Serenoa, Benedict.
Collapses. Can swap over to Japanese. Oh, you know what? Actually, we haven't tried that yet, so I might actually try that. Character stories are now available in the world. Here's the fun thing about Japanese. The voice acting could also be bad in Japanese. I just won't know. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Character stories are now available on the world map. View them to rally new allies to your cause and learn more about those who have already joined you. The characters rallied to your cause are influenced by Serenoa's conviction. The strength of your bond with an ally depends on the number of times that character has been deployed in battle. Some character stories may not be available right away depending on your progress in the main story. I don't know. Sometimes the vaguity is nice, right? Like, sometimes the vaguity is a mystery. Like with Elden Ring, right? Like, they're vague, but it's fun because it's a mystery. Okay, what do I want to do? First, let's go do system options. General settings, voice. Japanese. Proceed. Okay. We're gonna save. Did Teleor just, like, let them march through? So here's the thing. Here's another thing that I've been, like, very questionable about, right? Like, it said that this one, the Falks domain and the Wolfort domain, were, like, the two really militarily capable ones. But the Teleor domain is basically right up against Esfrost, so it's very surprising to me that they're kind of just shit on. Reaches. Okay, so again, if Esfrost, as a military power, marches an army down to Whiteholm Castle, if Teleor has any military capabilities, they could very easily sally out of Teleor and attack Esfrost in the rear. I'm gonna try to let this go, because I'm realizing that this game is not gonna make sense to me, tactically speaking. You think another rodent in my apartment took Odie's spot? Might need to get some glue traps. Dippin'. You got called a rodent, Dippo. You're a little bug. You're not a rodent. Look at the little bug eyes. Those little bug eyes. It ain't no rodent. The little insectoid. Where was Gondor when... Look. See, that might actually make sense because Gondor was like 200 miles away or some shit. The Crown City is under attack. By whom?
どうやらエスフロスト総帥自ら陣頭に立たれているようです。
グスタドルフが本気の侵攻ということだな。
我らはどういたしましょう。
王家の守りはウォルフォートの領分だ。
Fuck you, Silvio. You're a piece of shit. Also, designers, why did you put a tree over his body? I can't see the main person of interest in this fucking scene. What are you doing? Move that tree. Make it a smaller tree. Yeah, apparently, normally, an army can march 13 miles in a day. That's why I said, like, the 50 miles, I was like, that's a lot, right? Like, marching an army 50 miles is, like, that's forced marching crazy pants shit. You know? So like if these countries are like less than 50 miles apart, they're not countries. They're like little cities. I'm 15 miles away. 15 miles away from me is like 4 towns over. There's been cases of 20, but with unit exhaustion, well then apparently I'm way over the fucking mark with saying like 50. That does seem a little like suspicious though. Like, I guess like the concept of like units marching is gonna be, it's a lot different from just like running a mile, right? Or running a marathon, because you're carrying all of the gear that you're fighting with and then some a lot of the times, so take it with a grain of salt. No, I mean, it does sound realistic, honestly. So, regardless though, like that goes to try to like prove the point that I'm saying, like, tactically, distance-wise, time-wise, this game feels really loosey-goosey. Like they're intentionally being very vague and just being like, oh, it happened. Which is killing my suspension of disbelief. Protecting the royal family is House Wolfwort's duty. You're an a-hole, Sylvia.
まず奴らがどう動くか見定める。王都に参じないのですか。王国存亡の危機では。危機だからこそ慎重に動くのだ。エスフロスト軍は強い。我らテリオル家だけでどうにかできると思うのか。とにかく守りを固めて情報を集めろ。
You wouldn't be facing them on your own. That's the point. You hit them in the back. His voice is deeper in Japanese. I feel like most of the male voices are going to be deeper in Japanese. That's just a common thing, I think. Okay. Let's save again. Laughs in Luffy. I said most, not all. Most. Why are you adding me? Yes. Are there... Okay, you just named 3 main characters, almost like there's a trope there. How about you go back and name the other 50 male characters in each series that are like, this voice. You're just naysaying, Jay. You're just naysaying. You're just Jay-saying at this point. Mining schedule. Geological survey complete. High likelihood good quality iron ore is present, though buried deep under hard bedrock. Mining it should be possible with explosions. Start of trial dig. Trial dig with explosives successful. Discovered vein of iron ore. Start of mine shaft construction. Start of iron ore excavation. Grand Norzelian Mines commemoration ceremony. Encountered bedrock harder than anticipated. Used explosives to blast our ways through. Why are the days, months, and years in this redacted? Like, this is all information that we're aware of, so this feels weird. Maybe it's not redacted. It honestly just feels like someone, like they didn't make a calendar, which is, yeah. Game, you're killing me, game. All right, let's do some character stories. Ooh. What the fuck? Encampment. Let's pop in here real quick. Remote class. We can't do that with anyone. That's not until 10. Highest we have is 6. I pressed up. Responsive. We can do another Quietus. We can buy more of these. Why is Caranton in here when no one else is? Increases strength. Magic, physical defense, magic defense. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Guess we're gonna go do some side stories. Yes, I've used the quietest stuff in combat. I've only used it like once. It just hasn't felt very necessary. Can be useful, but hasn't felt very necessary. I'm probably going to buy the healing one and start using that more frequently. Kind of forgot it was a thing for a while. Yeah. I mean, it's just... it's there. We've got more notes because of these. Archers and arcanists attack from afar. Their objective is to wear down the enemy from a distance before the infantry moves in to strike. This strategy is the best at mitigating casualties. Unfortunately, arcanists tend to move slowly and have difficulty casting spells in succession. This has led many a commander to instruct infantry to move in first and weaken the enemy so that archers and arcanists may then deal the felling blow. This tactic, however, incurs great damages to the front lines. It is advised that commanders allow archers and arcanists to prepare before sending out the vanguard. Advancing is not the same as attacking. Patience can be the key to victory. One must also be aware of the position of their archers. Arrows are easy to avoid if shot from the front. Loosing them from a higher elevation increases their range and impact. The opposite is true of lower elevations. An archer's position greatly affects the power of one's forces. A diagonal shot is more likely to strike true. He who has the high ground has the advantage. Furthermore, magic spells are each tied to an element, and their power varies by opponent. Choose which spell to cast carefully. Magic stones, each imbued with an element, have the same effect as spells. With these in hand, any soldier can play the role of an arcanist. Use them well to reduce the burden on your spellcasters and diversify your tactics. Interesting. Shield bearers and healers are key elements to a solid defense, but are unexpectedly difficult to use. Many commanders have failed to leverage them wisely on the field of battle. Shield bearers excel in defense and are generally placed near the main force or its leaders to prevent sieges and flank attacks. Flank attacks make sense. Sieges? How the fuck are what? Many of these units can push back enemies with their shields, which is particularly useful when facing stronger foes. Shield bearers are an essential unit to have when up against a rivaling general. Relentless attacks have costed me victory, but solid defensive never have. Only a fool attacks first and protects themselves later. A good defense must come before a good offense. Healers are units that can cure their injured allies. Most commanders therefore wish to keep them at the rear of the main force, but enemy attacks can usually reach anywhere healing magic can. In general, healers should be made to wait at the rear and advance only when necessary. Once their job is done, they should make a quick retreat. Though this sounds cumbersome, healers are responsible for keeping their fellow soldiers alive and are especially vulnerable to enemy attacks. Commanders must therefore pay close attention to their movements. My god, I need more oxygen. Holy shit. I'm yawning like crazy. For if they fall, the entire army is likely to follow suit. Fast hastiness avails no one on the battlefield, unless they are getting haste put on them. In victory, caution is king. It's king until you need to act. You should be cautious until the right moment to strike presents itself, and then you should not be cautious in any way, shape, form, or fashion. The Salt Iron War, one of the fiercest wars raged in the realm of Norzelia, can be roughly divided into 3 periods. Before its onset, the Grand Duchy of Esfrost secretly contacted the Kingdom of Glenbrook and asked for an alliance to break Hyzant's monopoly over salt. Glenbrook agreed. Oh, so did Esfrost and Glenbrook fight only against Hyzant? In exchange for their logistical support and the permission to march through the kingdom, Glenbrook asked Esfrost for joint governance of the source. On the day the war began, the duchy's troops proceeded through Glenbrook and declared war on Hyzant as they rushed the Holy State's capital. Hyzant barely had time to close its gates, and the goddess's shield protected them from the onslaught. But their forces were unprepared, leaving them no choice but to take the defensive against Esfrost's iron might. In hopes of turning their position around, the Hierophants sought the aid of a clan that made their home in the northeastern reaches of modern-day Glenbrook. They called themselves House Wolford. Simone, lord of the house, heard the Hierophants' plea and made way for the Holy State with a small but elite force of warriors. Their bold attack broke through the duchy's encirclement and forced them to retreat to the border. This effectively destroyed Esfrost's hopes of an early resolution. Is this what what they were talking about earlier? How Simone had betrayed Glenbrook? How he had worked against the king? Because if this is what came to pass, I'm not sure how how House Wolfort hasn't been razed to the ground. The exploits of Simone Wolfort changed history. From that point forth, the Wolforts, which had been no more than a small clan in the area, became key in altering the course of the war. So House Wolfort wasn't even really House Wolfort prior to that. So who ruled this domain previously? The fighting came to a standstill when Esfrost and Glenbrook on one side and Hyzant and Wolfort on the other. The war affected not only those on the battlefield, but all across Norzelia. Before long, the salt reserves that the duchy had amassed in anticipation of the war began to dwindle, and they realized they would not last much longer. In Hyzant, the Hierophant succumbed to illness. Oh shit. The Saintly Seven quarreled over who would succeed the Holy One, and the city descended into chaos. It is rumored that, during the turmoil, the Roselle revolted and fled the source. Nothing was made official, but the rumor was likely true given the subsequent state of the city and the army's struggles. Despite the growing fatigue of both parties, all nations involved were reluctant to retreat out of fear of public backlash, so the war dragged on. Battles, small and large, were raged, the fight at the renowned Citadel of the Sands among them. Interesting. Details of the damages are still unknown to this day. It's 30 years later. What do you mean details are unknown to this day? What? The people and soldiers of all nations suffered greatly over the 30 years that came to be known as the... Okay, hold up. I might be getting my history wrong here. I thought it had been 30 years since the Salt Iron War ended, or was it that the Salt Iron War was a 30-year war? And it's been less time since the Salt Iron War ended. Shit. I wish these pieces of lore had more concrete details, like dates and things like that in them. But the game seems to be very, like, vague when it comes to dates. Alright. Save again, and then we will head into one of these character things. Let's start off with the circus girl. Yes, I don't know.
こんな寂しい場所でどうしたのだ？
行くあてがないの。
お父さんとお母さんは？
ずっと前に死んじゃった。
セレノア様。
私の名はセレノア。君の名は？
ピコレッタ。
ピコレッタ、玉投げがうまいんだな。
それが仕事だもん。私が玉投げするとみんな拍手してくれるんだよ。だけどサーカスはなくなっちゃった。これからは一人で生きてかなきゃいけないんだって。
I have a lot of questions. Question one being, why are we stopping to talk to this little girl when the kingdom's under attack? Question number two, what's going on in the background to the left behind her? And question number three, what the fuck is the name Piccoletta?
お兄ちゃんたちは何をしてる人なの？
Also, is this really gonna be a character? I'm gonna laugh. It's gonna be like my favorite character in the fucking game or some shit.
終わらせようとしているのよ。
戦争嫌い。そのせいでみんないなくなっちゃったの。
War just started. Okay.
お兄ちゃんたち、戦争を終わらせてくれるんだよね。なら私も一緒に連れてってよ。
As far as I'm aware, it's been less than a day. But apparently war made this little girl's potentially family die, and then the circus go away, and then all the people go away, and we're gonna end the war.
私、得意の玉投げで悪い奴らをやっつけられるよ。
Oh, was that a hungry
お腹
tummy?
すいた。
Yep, that was a hungry tummy sound.
セレノア様、こんな子供を置いていくわけには。
Sheila, you are not... Are you fucking kidding
分
me?
かっている。ピコレッタ、一緒においで。
Yeah, come fight in a war, Piccoletta.
悪い奴らをやっつける前に、まずは私たちとご飯を食べよう。それからピコレッタの特技でみんなを楽しませてやってくれないか？
任せてよ。
The fucking fuck. Are you kidding me? Piccoletta's aptitudes in battle, an expert in offensive items. She increases the range of offensive items, and she can summon a decoy of herself. That does sound pretty cool, actually. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to this guy. Kid, boy. I hope there's a time skip or something like that where people get a little older. Look at this fuckaroo. I actually like his outfit.
そのウォルフォード公に会いに来たんだ。通しておくれよ。
妙な格好をした怪しいやつめ。不審なものを通すわけにはいかぬ。
I think his garb looks awesome.
どこが怪しいっていうのさ。この衣装は由緒正しい。
うるさい。さっさと帰れ。
Oh, okay. I've got some asshole soldiers going on over here. That's not great. Guys.
待ってくれよ。おい、ウォルフォード公、聞いてください。
Okay. Why is Gila the one always coming with me?
それが妙な若造がセレノア様に会いたいなどと申しておりまして。
僕はナルブって言います。 かの大魔法使いグランダンテの孫にして最後の弟子が
グランダンテ。
あなたのお力になれればとやってまいりました。
大魔法使い？失礼で、私もいくらか魔法を学んではいますが、そのような方は耳にしたことがないのですが。
Oh, I was not the direction I thought we were gonna go here. Gila was all like, this guy? This is why she's here. Fair enough. Well, like, when she first started talking, I was like, oh, she recognizes that name. Cool. And now she's like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
ご存知ない？やっぱりか。やっぱりなのか。
何か失礼なことを言いましたか？
Oh no. Oh no.
いえ、どうかお気になさらず。それでは気を取り直しまして。
I actually do like his outfit.
僕が大魔法使いグランダンテの最後の弟子であることを実際にお見せしましょ
う。Ooh, it's all windy.
すごい。ざっとこんなもんです。
That's cool.
鮮やかなものですね。これは天性の才能でしょうか、それとも。
じっちゃんの大魔法使いグランダンテの教えがあってこそですよ。だからどうか軍に加えてください。お願いします。
セレノア様、彼の魔法は強力です。自信を持って推薦できます。
それはありがたい。それではナルブ、どうか私と共に戦ってくれないか。
もちろんです。僕の魔法で世の中を変えてみせますとも。
Alright, fair enough. I'll give you that. A versatile mage and master of the elements. Casts spells of every element. Use the child. I probably will use both children. Changes enemies' orientation with wind magic? What? The fuck? That's... What do we got? Okay, Narv. Oh, you meant specifically Narv? Gotcha. Whirlwind. Deal wind-type damage to all enemies within range and change the direction they face. He's literally just got all of the stuff. Watch ya, boy. Grant HP to all allies within range. That just seems strong. Increases targetable range by 2 when using an item on an enemy. He's shrunk. Decoy. Summon a clone on a selected square. Clones previously summoned with this ability will disappear. Intensive items. Ball toss. Illusion. Vanish. Seems strange. Why are they stronger? Like, the makeup of their character design is very different than everyone else. So for example, right, take Ana. Ana is, you know, she has her final skill is at level 10. Cyrano's final skin is at 7. Roland's is at 7. Benedict's 7, etc. Right? I think 10 being the highest. But not with these two. These two have skills going all the way up to 19. And they both have 4 action points. Whereas everyone else has 3 action points. So it feels like something... It feels like they have some sort of upgrade or something. It's because they are their second tier of class, you believe? Why the fuck are they their second tier of class when I don't have anyone else who can be anywhere close to second tier of class yet? Like, you have to be level 10 to upgrade to your second tier of class. Why would they come in at level 5 and be their second tier of class? That seems fucking weird. Oh, I bet I know what it is, right? Like, we might not have had access. We might not have had access to them yet, right? Like, if our conviction wasn't strong enough, then maybe we wouldn't have been able to pick them up yet. So the game's not sure when we're gonna get them, so it just automatically makes them their second tier of class, but the level probably comes in at like an average level, is what that is. So that's weird. And I plan to. That's where I'm heading next. But still, like, I like to suss things out. 2, that's very strange. Their weapons are still tier 1. Also, okay, Quarantin and Piccoletta and Narv are here. Are they the... Do all optional characters go to the tent? Is that what's happening? Okay, I will say this. In the brief time, I did enjoy the Japanese language. However, I don't want to have to pay attention to the text. Promote class. Yeah, they are veterans. Yep. How strange that they come in, that their level is averaged, right? But they come in at their second tier of class. Alright, well, whatever. Is what it is. Oh, I wanted to pick up the Quietus, the restore one. Really like Benedict that much. I like his skill set, but I don't like him that much. And none of these improve his skills. You know? That's... I do want that. What do we got? Increases fire damage or increases light. Ooh. That's a concern. I don't even have access to Baltos for like quite a while, I think. Right, Baltos. Baltos is level 15. She's 10 fucking levels away from Baltos. Okay. Yeah. Assuming we've got some new options. Oh, we do have some new options. All right. Well, we are going to be doing some tavern brawling, a fair fight. A fair fight, you say. Okay, that's going to be what we're going to do next, but that's going to be on the next video. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to keep playing. If you're watching on YouTube, hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time for more Triangle Strategy. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.